Welcome to another episode of Frame by Frame, a series dedicated to the craft of filmmaking. Back to the Future. It's one of those rare films that does just about everything right. It's got pitch-perfect performances, brilliant writing, and Crispin Glover. But Back to the Future has another excellent quality. It's blocking. And today, I'll show you how director Robert Zemeckis used this technique to create an American cinematic classic. For those of you who don't know, blocking refers to how actors move in relation to the camera and each other. The director and actors typically choreograph all of these movements before shooting begins. So, when you see Marty move close and open to camera for an emotional moment, that's blocking. As are all the little gestures actors perform in a scene. Do they avoid eye contact? Do they pace? Do they spastically talk with their hands all the time? These are all decisions that are usually made during blocking. But before we get ahead of ourselves here, let's watch the scene from Back to the Future so you can see how Zemeckis blocked his actors specifically in relation to the camera. Okay, so we see Doc Brown talking frantically to a picture. He refers to the person in the picture as Tom. Doc turns away from camera, revealing the picture's subject, Thomas Edison. So, this is a visual joke. Then, Doc Brown gets up and places the picture on the mantle beside the portraits of other famous scientists. That's 2 visual reveals. Next, Doc sits and Marty follows him down. I don't want to stress body language right now, but notice that Marty stoops to Doc's level and leans in. This shows Marty's concern for Doc as well as their dilemma. Marty eventually pulls out a copy of the Hill Valley Telegraph. He's showing Doc a note from his girlfriend Jennifer, but what do we see? An article about lightning striking the clock tower. This sets up Marty's later epiphany, that they can use this specific lightning strike in the future to power the DeLorean. Marty gets up and moves toward us. He remains open to camera. This allows us to see Marty's aforementioned epiphany. The same pattern repeats for Doc's revelation. He gets up, moves toward us, and remains open to camera. That way, we can get the full impact of his emotional beat as well. Notice too that Doc is blocked so that he's never stacking or overlapping Marty. Then, Doc says to Marty,
"We're sending you back to the future!"
He points directly at the camera, or rather, us. And where are we in relation to 1955? The future. So, it's pretty simple. Zemeckis positioned the camera and actors to reveal exposition, like the newspaper article, set up jokes, like the Thomas Edison bit, and highlight emotional beats, like Marty's epiphany. But there's more to blocking than just camera and actor placement. Body language and how actors move in regards to each other is equally important. Just watch how Marty and the younger version of his mother Lorraine move in relation to each other here. Marty wakes up in his younger mother's bed. She is trying to seduce him. Marty generally moves frantically throughout the scene, conveying his anxiety. Lorraine, however, is much more still. She shyly avoids eye contact and smiles often at Marty. These gestures show her immature attraction to him. Then, we see Marty uncover, revealing his underwear. He quickly covers up. She avoids eye contact after, probably because she's embarrassed for him. Once Lorraine gets her courage back, though, she seizes the chance to touch Marty, another physical indicator of her attraction to him. Mortified, Marty recoils away. This pattern continues. Next, Lorraine sits uncomfortably close to Marty, leans in. He squirms away again. Then he falls, a visual joke. Lorraine hears her mother call. She turns open to camera so we can catch her surprised reaction. Zemeckis even blocks it so that we catch her exit in the mirror behind Marty. Then, Marty falls to the ground again, because he's an idiot. But this is another visual gag, so the blocking does 2 key things in this scene. It adds humor, and it conveys, without a single word, the relationship between these two characters. Now, while we'll never know why a 17-year-old kid was hanging around a crazy old man with plutonium, we know this: Robert Zemeckis can block a movie. In Back to the Future, he used actor and camera placement to reveal exposition, set up visual jokes, and highlight emotional beats. Zemeckis also knew, as I'm sure the actors did, that body language can provide just as much subtext as dialogue can. So, while Back to the Future might be popcorn fare, if you look under its hood, you'll see that few films were, are, or ever will be again engineered this well. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and make sure to subscribe to this channel, Film Theory, for more fantastic film-related content. If you'd like to check out more Frame by Frame, click the frame to the left. Or if you'd like to check out a Film Theory episode, click the frame to the right. And until next time, my name is Kyle, and this has been Frame by Frame.